Hello everybody, my name is Kimberly Lum and today I'm going to be talking about an artifact that is important to my culture. The first time I remember receiving my first little red envelope was around the age of 5. I was even more thrilled when I looked inside and saw a $10 bill sitting inside snugly. That night I received one from my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, and older cousins. I had a stack of envelopes filled with money at the end of the night. Those little red envelopes are called lacey, as I later found out. They are about the size of a baseball card and are covered in gold designs such as dragons or Chinese words. They even have cartoon characters on them sometimes. My father's side of the family is Chinese, Cantonese to be specific, and we take a huge pride in our culture. My grandparents immigrated from China to the United States as teenagers and built a life for themselves here. But they never wanted their children or grandchildren to forget their roots, so we partake in every Chinese tradition. Giving and receiving lacey is important in Chinese culture. Red symbolizes luck. So when you give it to a family member or friend, you're wishing them good luck or to express goodwill. To understand lacey, you need to know when and where they originated, as well as understanding the etiquette to give and receive them in the proper manner. To begin, I'm going to give you guys, my audience, a brief history of the lacey and discuss its origin. From research, I found that the practice of giving hongbao, also called lacey, during Chinese New Year most likely originated in the Qing Dynasty in about 1636. The Qing Dynasty was established, and many Han people whose traditions included celebrating the New Year were appointed into government positions. The King Emperor respected Han culture and traditions, like giving children coins tied together by red thread for the New Year, and so those traditions were gradually adopted widely. The practice eventually evolved into the red envelope that are given today. However, some say that it even goes further back as the Song Dynasty in China. The story goes that a huge demon was terrorizing a village, and there was nobody in the village who was able to defeat the demon. Many warriors and leaders attempted with no luck. A young orphan stepped in armed with a magical sword that was inherited from his ancestors and defeated the demon. Peace was finally restored to the village, and the elders all presented the brave young man with a red envelope filled with money to repay the young orphan for his courage. Now that we have discussed the origin of the lacey, let's talk about the proper way to receive and to give it, and who exactly to give it to. When getting a lacey, you should accept the lacey with both hands, open the red envelope in private, and always thank the person that gave you the envelope. And during Chinese New Year, remember to thank the giver with good wishes, such as Gong Hei Fa Choi, which means sending good fortune your way. When giving a lacey, select an envelope with a design that you like. There's many options nowadays, some even have cartoon characters on them, like I was saying earlier. Choose the correct color, usually red, because white envelopes are often used for funerals. For the money inside, try to avoid the number 4 because it is seen as unlucky and go in increments of 10. And of course, hand over the envelope with both hands. Lacey is given from big to small, old to young, and senior to junior. Married couples also give to their single younger relatives and may give 2 lacey packets to each person, one from each spouse. If you are unmarried, you will usually only need to give 1 packet to each person. The amount you put in the lacey is up to you, but there are around ballpark figures for each set of people. Remember to never use coins and try to use a single crisp bill. It should be a single bill with an even amount, like I was telling you guys earlier, so avoid putting 2 $20 bills into the lacey because it equals 40 and contains the number 4, which is seen as unlucky, and it sounds similar to die in Cantonese. The last thing I'm going to discuss is why and how this is important to my family and our culture. Whenever I received a lacey growing up, it was either to celebrate the new year, a birthday, a graduation, or an important accomplishment. It was always something positive that would bring my whole family together. We would have a large feast including all of my grandma's specialty dishes, such as duck, chicken feet, bao baos, custards, and much more. We would set up placemats and a shot of tequila for each of our loved one who had passed on. Burn money, also called heaven notes, which is another tradition, and enjoy each other's company into the wee hours of the morning. Family means a lot to me, and my grandma has always tried to teach every single one of us about her culture. It's important to her that we all know where we came from. She has instilled the knowledge of our culture and traditions from a young age, so when the day comes that she is no longer with us, we can continue on with the traditions. I have tried to explain lacey the best I can in 5 minutes, however, they have way more of an importance than I could ever explain. Now that you all know when and where lacey originated, as well as an understanding the etiquette to give and receive them in the proper manner, I hope you can all do your own research and pass on the knowledge of the little lucky red envelope. In conclusion, lacey go far back into the Chinese history, and it's greatly important to know its origin so you can respect why they are so important to us, and then make sure to follow the proper etiquette when giving and getting them so you don't disrespect something that goes back centuries. Lacey aren't necessarily lucky themselves, per se, but the person who gives them to you are wishing luck upon you. That itself is an honor. And this is a tradition I will pass on to my children and grandchildren, just as my grandmother did to me. Thank you, everybody.